The strangest finds aren't always made by archaeologists on land. Some of the most baffling discoveries are also hidden under the sea. From unexplained holes to a jellyfish that never dies, here are 20 shocking things found underwater that no one can explain. Number 20. Lucky find in Lake Conakry. The coolest thing I found while swimming in the lake was an old digital camera that didn't work anymore, but I guess some people are just luckier than others. Take, for example, the story of a 16-year-old girl in 2015 who was enjoying her summer holiday while swimming in the picturesque Lake Conakry, known for its crystal-clear waters. She found a gold bar. Yes, you heard that right. While swimming, she noticed a shiny brick at the bottom of the lake. Curiosity led her to pick up what turned out to be a gold bar, weighing an astonishing 500 grams. Perhaps you guys have heard stories about World War II gold and treasures left behind by the German forces in lakes around Germany and Austria. This was the initial theory by people when news about the gold brick spread in the area. The 16-year-old's parents immediately called the police after discovering the gold. The authorities immediately spread the news about the 500-gram ingot, hoping its owner would show up. 6 months passed and no lead showed up. With no genuine owner coming forward to claim the bar, the finder gets to keep it. Of course, several people claimed that the gold bar was theirs, but none of them could show genuine proof that the bar was indeed theirs, and so, according to local law, the 16-year-old girl had the right to keep the gold bar for herself. Now, I know you're curious about the total expected cost of the gold bar. It was believed that this bar could easily fetch around 16,000 euros or $177,000 in today's money. It was an extremely lucky find indeed. Number 19. Mystery of the ocean holes. It's not always that we get to explore deep underwater. I'm talking almost 5,000 feet underwater. Perhaps that's why when we do get to explore this mind-boggling depth, researchers always stumble upon the most unbelievable discoveries. Now, random small holes underwater might not sound bizarre or unusual. After all, there are a lot of creatures that could have created them. However, these small oblong cavities that are neatly spaced about 10 centimeters apart, this consistency can't be created by something natural. These bizarre holes were discovered during a series of ocean explorations in 2022 by researchers aboard NOAA's Okeanos Explorer. Initially, the teams were meant to map uncharted regions of the Atlantic, but they were stumped by these bizarre holes. Due to how clean and consistent they are, they appear almost man-made. They're surrounded by little pieces of sediment, which suggests that they're still being worked on by something underwater. Despite advanced technology and numerous expeditions, the origins of these holes remain unknown. Were they part of a biological activity or were they created by natural phenomena that we have yet to observe? Unfortunately, we have no information about the cause of these holes, so for now we can only wait and speculate. Number 18. Indian Ocean Gravity Anomaly. Did you know that in the Indian Ocean, there's a mysterious gravity hole? In this region of the ocean, the Earth's gravitational pull is weaker, which resulted in this depression that has a depth of over 328 feet. This bizarre feature is an anomaly that has puzzled geologists for a considerable time. What's causing this bizarre feature? For so long, the answer to this question has been a mystery. Until recently, this gravity hole is centered about 750 miles southwest of Kanyakumari, or Cape Comorin, the southernmost tip of the Indian subcontinent. This circular depression in the ocean is about 1.2 million square miles, almost the size of India itself. This depression was first discovered by Dutch geophysicist Felix Andries van Maenisch, who invented a device to measure gravity at sea. It's said that this pronounced dip was responsible for the disappearance of countless ships and aircraft, leading to this spot being the center of alien and paranormal conspiracies. Scientists, however, believe that this massive hole might be the remnant of an ancient sea, specifically the Tethys Ocean, which used to be located between the supercontinents of Laurasia and Gondwana more than 200 million years ago. Scientists from the Indian Institute of Science have unraveled this enigma by simulating plate tectonics over the last 140 million years. They discovered that certain tectonic plates under Africa sank deep into the Earth, stirring up less dense, hot mantle material that rose under the Indian Ocean. This created a lower gravitational pull in this region, leading to a depression where the sea level is significantly lower than the global average. Number 17. Mystery of the Purple Orb. As technology grew more advanced, our catalog of species grew more expansive. Scientists are rarely stumped when an unknown species shows up. Newer species are easily identified and categorized. However, there are times when researchers stumble upon something that leaves them bewildered. One such creature or thing is this purple orb. This bizarre purple thing was discovered by the crew of the Nautilus exploration vessel in 2016, deep in Arguello Canyon, near the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary of California. Initially, it was thought to be a tunicate or a sea squirt, but after fighting off a crab, they captured the mysterious Purple Orb to study it aboard their ship. Upon further examination aboard their boat, it unfolded into two distinct lobes, hinting it might be a nudibranch. Nudibranch are known for their vivid colors and striking forms. They're soft-bodied, and they shed their shells after their larval stage. However, we have yet to discover a purple nudibranch resembling a toy ball, and so the discussion as to what this purple orb is continues. Marine scientist Jeff Goddard suggested other possibilities. It could be an unusual egg mass, maybe housing a single large embryo, or even a fibrous sponge. Some also believe that it could be a predatory sea squirt, or perhaps another creature entirely. We have yet to find another similar specimen, so to this day, this purple mystery remains. Number 16. Discovery of black ocean eggs. Boba, anyone? Earlier this year, a clutch of tiny, boba-like black eggs were discovered by a remotely operated vehicle, ROV, in the abyss of the Pacific Ocean, specifically over 3.7 miles deep beneath it. Initially, researchers were quite bewildered as to what these eggs could be. The initial assumption by researchers was that these might be some form of protists, but upon closer examination, a milky liquid revealed that these were, in fact, the cocoons of flatworms. Yes, there are flatworms even deep in the ocean. What's surprising is that these black eggs are the first solid evidence of deep-sea flatworms inhabiting extreme ocean depths. Each one of these boba-like orbs is a small, leathery cocoon that can house up to 7 developing flatworms. These eggs show that even the most inhospitable parts of our planet can host life. This also shows that if you're afraid of creepy crawlies, you won't be able to escape them because they're everywhere on our planet. Number 15. The enigmatic golden orb of Alaska. The ocean seems to have a penchant for confusing scientists with mysterious orbs. In 2023, another mysterious orb was discovered, and this time it was golden in color. The mysterious gold orb was found on the ocean floor off the Pacific coast of Alaska by scientists at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. The strange object was found nestled on a rocky outcrop about 2 miles deep. This immediately caught everyone's eye because of its shiny, gold-like appearance. It was only about 4 inches in diameter, but was so intriguing that it immediately caught the eyes of researchers. The orb's discovery was broadcast live, quickly sparking conspiracies about the gold orb online. Initial guesses about its identity ranged widely, from coral or an egg casing to a type of sponge. NOAA used a remotely operated arm to, and I quote, tickle the egg, and they discovered that it had a texture similar to skin. It was then gently suctioned up in a tube for testing in a lab. The DNA test of this golden orb should be able to establish and trace just what creature this golden orb came from. If it turns out to be an egg, the creature who birthed this egg could be something sizable, judging from the size of this golden orb. For now, we can only wait for scientists to figure out where this golden orb came from. Number 14. The sunken steam engine of Lake Superior. As Eric Gunbauer said, not every wreck in the water is a ship, because sometimes you'll find steam engines down there. Yes, you heard that right. If you dive deep into the bottom of Lake Superior, you won't find a shipwreck, but rather the wreck of a century-old train. This wreck belongs to the Canadian Pacific Railway locomotive number 694. Over a century ago, in 1910, this train was chugging along when it collided with rocks covering the train tracks. The speed at which the train was going was enough to send it careening into Lake Superior, claiming the lives of 3 crew members, one of whom even tried to save himself before the train hit the rocks. Unfortunately for everyone aboard, the train took their lives in this accident. Locomotive number 694 fell 60 feet underwater, where it remained. It wasn't until 2014 that a small team of shipwreck hunters noticed traces of this train. First, they found several of the train's boxcars, but the locomotive was the last thing they found. While the boxcars remained in shallower depths, the locomotive reached 230 feet underwater amongst a field of boulders. The team hoped that they could pull the steamer up from the surface to be displayed in public, but it was so damaged and destroyed that the salvagers had no choice but to leave it where it lay, making it one of the most curious and strangest things found at the bottom of the lake. Number 13. The unexplored lost city of Cuba. This lost city was discovered in the early 2000s, all thanks to advanced sonar technology. This forgotten city was found deep in the waters of Cabo de San Antonio, off Cuba's coast. This accidental find is among the many lost cities believed to be Atlantis. However, researchers believe this lost Cuban city is the site of an unprecedented American civilization, yet to be documented. Unfortunately, with a limited budget and not much interest, these ruins remain unexplored to this day, which means no studies can confirm just what this city really is. Number 12. Mystery of the Great White Shark's Predator. Scientists from all over the globe have been tagging ocean creatures to monitor them, and among those they've been monitoring for a long time now is a healthy 9-foot great white shark. This behemoth was a ferocious beast, so when the black box that was strapped to it washed away on the coast of Australia in 2014, experts were incredibly bewildered. After all, what could beat and consume a 9-foot-long beast? This marked the beginning of the puzzling case of the colossal cannibal monster that consumed a great white shark. Data from the black box showed that before the device was removed from the shark, there was a rapid temperature rise from 7.6 degrees Celsius to about 25.5 degrees, along with a sharp plunge of a staggering 1,192 feet. This proves scientists' hypothesis that the great white shark with a black box was indeed consumed by something monstrous and unknown to man. The sudden change in depth suggests that the shark was captured and pulled deeper into the ocean. The rise in temperature indicated that it went inside another animal's digestive system. This super predator immediately captured the attention of researchers. After all, there are not many creatures out there that can easily consume such a ferocious creature. Some researchers believe that the culprit behind the 9-foot-long shark's disappearance is another shark, most likely 15 feet long and weighing over 2 tons. At least, this is the best possible size of the creature, if we're judging by its speed. This monster could have targeted the smaller shark due to a territorial dispute or perhaps out of hunger. There's also the fact that biologists know all too well. In the ocean, bigger creatures can freely target those who are smaller than them. Number 11. Scotland's Stronzi Mystery. It seems that Scotland has a wealth of lore involving mythological creatures. Aside from the creatures of the Loch Ness, the nation also has the Stronzi beast. This creature first entered public consciousness in the year 1808 after a fierce storm. This bizarre carcass washed up on the nation's beach, sparking immediate intrigue and speculation. Because of its appearance, it measured an astonishing 55 feet long. But since part of its tail was missing, it's possible that this creature was even larger. It had a unique appearance with a long neck, and its body was covered in bristles, similar to carcasses that we describe as globsters. Initially, people were baffled. Was this a sea serpent, a mythical creature? The National History Society of Edinburgh even debated its origins, as its large size and strange features didn't match known animals. The body was examined, and descriptions detailed its skin as smooth when stroked from head to tail, but rough in the opposite direction. It possessed 3 pairs of paws or wings, unlike any known marine creature today. The conclusion believed by many is that the Stronzi beast is a shark in the later stage of its decomposition. Despite this theory, the mystery of the Stronzi beast remains. Number 10. Secrets of Lake Michigan. Did you know that Lake Michigan has 2 secrets? For one, this lake is hiding its very own Stonehenge, dubbed the Lake Michigan Stonehenge for its similarity with the megaliths in England. This site dates back 10,000 years. This archaeological site was discovered by chance in 2007 by archaeologists led by underwater archaeology professor Mark Hawley. The Stonehenge of Lake Michigan consists of stones arranged in a circular pattern. Carvings of mastodons and other symbols were discovered on stones making up the Lake Michigan Stonehenge. To this day, we remain unsure about who or why the stone formation was built. Additionally, we're also uncertain about how they ended up at the bottom of the lake in the first place. Number 9. Ancient Marvels of the Gulf. Just recently, the relics of a possibly lost ancient civilization were discovered off the coast of western India. This unprecedented vast city, stretching more than 5 miles long and 2 miles wide, was found 120 feet underwater in the Gulf of Cambodge, also known as the Gulf of Cambay. What's astounding is that this discovery could possibly rewrite human history. The remnants of the city were discovered by the National Institute of Ocean Technology, NIOT, while performing routine pollution surveys in the region. Experts believe this forgotten urban settlement was left behind by a civilization possibly predating the Indus Valley civilization. Regularly spaced dwellings, a granary, a bath, a citadel, and a sophisticated drainage system were among the things found in the remains of this city. To this day, however, research about this site remains ongoing. Number 8. The Mystery of Bimini Road. Researchers aboard Nautilus discovered a yellow brick road during an exploration funded by the NOAA Ocean Exploration. This yellow brick road looks similar to paved pathways created in cities here on land. This led to discussions and theories about this road being part of a forgotten civilization, including the lost city of Atlantis. In my opinion, this feature does look like it was made by human hands. However, geologists believe that rather than being remnants of a past settlement, these stones were created by ocean currents due to an ancient volcanic eruption. It's likely that the Bimini Road is nothing but hyaloclastite, a volcanic rock that results from high-energy eruptions that lead to rock fragments settling at the bottom of the seabed. Even so, alternative theories from scientists all around the globe continue, a debate that still rages about how the Bimini Road was created. Number 7. Tragic tale of an iron ball and chain. In 2009, an iron ball and chain were discovered in London's River Thames. The two artifacts were extraordinary because the 18-pound iron ball and chain set dates back to the 17th or 18th century, making the two over 300 years old. The leg irons are believed to have been used to restrain convicts on ships, and they might have a gruesome story to tell. The set was made out of high-quality iron, which makes it unlikely that the set was deliberately thrown overboard. It's more plausible that the inmate wearing this set jumped into the ocean and drowned, making the story and history of this ball and chain quite gruesome. Number 6. The unresolved mystery of Kastu. Ghost ships, also known as phantom ships, are vessels with no living crew aboard, one of the most popular being the Flying Dutchman or the ship of the Mary Celeste. Throughout history, several ghost ships have been discovered, including the Kastu, which was found in April 2007 drifting aimlessly off the coast of Australia near the Great Barrier Reef. Kastu was perfectly intact with everything. The ship showed no signs of being raided or robbed. The laptop was still on a desk, and food was set out on the table. The only ones missing from the ship were its 3-person crew, consisting of skipper Derek Batten and brothers Paul and James Tunstead, who had set off from Airlie Beach for what was supposed to be a leisurely sailing trip to Townsville. Investigations into this bizarre incident kicked off with theories flying left and right. Was it a tragic man-overboard accident while trying to untangle a fishing line? Did a rogue wave sweep them away silently? Or was foul play involved? The bizarre thing is that, despite extensive efforts, searches, and forensic analysis, no signs of the crew were ever found. The video footage recorded by one of the crew members just days before their disappearance showed normal activities and calm seas, making the disappearance even more baffling. Are there any experienced sailors out there who can offer theories? If so, feel free to comment it down below. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. A diver captured on camera something that shocked the whole world. It's a well-known fact that we have yet to discover and identify everything that lurks underwater. We've been studying the ocean and bodies of water found on Earth for centuries, and yet the mystery of the water seems to be endless. The ocean alone is a treasure trove of creatures that we have no idea existed in the first place. Just look at this photo that a diver captured while exploring the Great Blue Hole at the center of Belize. You can see a creature that looks straight out of a fantasy book with its snout, feet, and body. It seems akin to dragons in various mythology. Could there be such a species in the ocean that closely resembles dragons and fantasy novels? The diver shared that he failed to find the bizarre creature again, leading some people to claim that the alleged dragon wasn't real, but instead a realistic toy that had been washed away underwater. But with how vast and largely unexplored the ocean is, there's a chance that such a creature hides underwater without our knowledge. Number 5. The Phantom Island of Bermia. Did you know that there's an island that researchers have been trying to find for decades? This is the Phantom Island of Bermia. This piece of land is often depicted on historical maps off the north coast of the Yucatan Peninsula in the Gulf of Mexico, at least in the 16th century. Around the mid-20th century, depictions of this land in maps all over the globe suddenly ceased. What's more interesting is that, despite its frequent cartographic appearances, the island has not been physically observed recently. In 2009, the Mexican government initially removed Bermia from its maritime chart after extensive but futile searches for its physical presence. But what's the big deal about this island? Well, yes, you heard that right. If Bermia were proven to be real, it would change the maritime boundaries of Mexico. This phantom island could potentially extend the nation's exclusive economic zone, thereby granting Mexico rights to rich oil deposits and fishing areas further into the Gulf. For this reason, there are a lot of conspiracy theories about how Bermia disappeared, or if it ever existed in the first place. Unfortunately for Mexico, it's possible that the said Phantom Island never existed after all. Throughout maritime history, many islands have appeared in nautical charts only to vanish in later explorations, often chalked up to cartographic errors or misinterpretations of natural features. There's also the chance that the piece of land was simply engulfed by rising water, never to be seen again. Number 4. The myth and reality of the Kraken. Have you heard about the Kraken? If you're a fan of mythology and fantasy novels, you've most likely heard of this creature before. This creature originated from Scandinavian folklore and is often depicted as a massive creature with formidable tentacles, capable of dragging ships into the abyss. The term Kraken derives from the Scandinavian word krake, which refers to an unhealthy animal or something twisted. Over time, however, this monstrous creature began appearing in scientific text. From a creature that only exists in the pages of novels and lore, it became a creature between reality and fiction. In fact, even Carl Linnaeus, the father of modern taxonomy, temporarily categorized the Kraken among cephalopods in the first edition of his Systema Naturae in 1735. Scientists believed that the existence of the Kraken is untrue, and all encounters with these creatures actually involve giant squid. After all, these creatures can easily reach up to 60 feet long and are known for their large, piercing eyes. However, even giant squid are elusive, perhaps even more so than their mythical counterparts. The first scientific acknowledgement of the giant squid was in 1853, when Norwegian naturalist Chapita Steenstrup described parts of this enormous cephalopod. To this day, however, many continue to believe in the existence of this creature that allegedly sank ships and devoured men hundreds of years ago. Number 3. Mystery of underwater crop circles. Perhaps you've heard about crop circles. Just as their name suggests, these bizarre geometric patterns are found in fields all over the world, seemingly overnight. Due to the fact that they seem to appear abruptly, many believe that extraterrestrials create crop circles. Several artist groups claim to be responsible for underwater circles, but the theory that extraterrestrial creatures created them never ceased. And now, it seems that crop circles are also found underwater. These crop circles were first discovered off the coast of Japan. It was initially discovered back in 1995 by Japanese divers. After all, it was hard to miss the strange circular patterns on the seafloor. As years went by, the frequency by which these circles were discovered increased in number. Unfortunately for researchers, the animals creating these circles continued to elude them until recently. These underwater crop circles are impressive, being almost 7 feet in diameter. It's for this reason that scientists were quite baffled when they finally found the culprit behind these underwater circles. You see, for so long, these circles were thought to be naturally formed, perhaps by a current. There are also theories that it was a sick prank created by an unknown group. The truth is as impressive as these theories. It turned out that the crop circles were made by creatures that are merely 5 inches in size, more specifically pufferfish. These circles are actually the way for these creatures to mate. Male puffers create these giant circles with intricate designs of ridges and grooves. They flap their fins restlessly over several days until they're satisfied. If a female puffer likes their creation, the two will mate, with a circle serving as their nest. The eggs will remain safe at the center of this circle, thanks to the ridges that help lessen the impact of the water current. Post-mating, the males guard the eggs for about a week before the ocean currents and their own movements eventually erase the structure, prompting them to start anew. It's astounding how this unique mating ritual had scientists scratching their heads for almost a decade. Number 2. Debate over the Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, the oceanic team discovered something that sparked a debate between conspiracy theorists and non-believers to this day. The oceanic team described this feature as resembling that of a flying saucer that lay stranded in the ocean. They explained that it had bizarre stair formations and looked like it was constructed tens of thousands of years ago, before the Ice Age. Scientists immediately dismissed this finding as a hoax. Still, oceanics and their believers continued to press that the Baltic Sea Anomaly was either the remains of an unprecedented civilization or an extraterrestrial visitation. Number 1. The Immortal Jellyfish. Did you know that there's an immortal creature living in the ocean? Yes, you heard that right. A mysterious jellyfish is residing in the Mediterranean, discovered in 1883. Technically speaking, this jellyfish can cheat death. The immortal jellyfish starts life as a tiny larva known as a planula, which settles on the sea floor and develops into a colony of polyps. These polyps then bud off into jellyfish. Instead of dying, the adult jellyfish of this species revert to their polyp stage under stressful conditions like physical damage or environmental changes. This process, known as transdifferentiation, allows them to restart their life cycle, giving them potential biological immortality. They can do this repeatedly, which means each time they encounter a near-death experience, they can just revert to an earlier stage in their lives. Aside from its capability of surviving harsh environments, this jellyfish can also cheat death. Now, this creature might not have a brain. All it has is its bright red stomach and 90 white tentacles. But hey, at least it's basically immortal. Ever since its discovery, scientists have been studying this remarkable and mysterious creature to figure out whether transdifferentiation could help us. Scientists are studying the immortal jellyfish's cell regeneration process, hoping it might unlock new ways to heal human tissue or even extend human lifespans. Now, you're probably wondering if these creatures are immortal, how do their populations decrease? While they might be immortal being small, they can easily be consumed by other creatures such as sea turtles or bigger fish. Well, this shows that no creature on Earth is truly invincible. Now, perhaps you guys have also discovered mind-boggling things underwater. If so, feel free to keep the discussion going in the comments down below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now, and we'll see you in the next video.